What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one we're going to have the pre-game preview for the Raiders matchup, one that at least in the recent past Colts have for the most part had success with over time. Of course, this year two very different teams than what have matched up in years past. Why we play the Raiders so much, it seems like almost every year is kind of questionable to me, like this is some sort of rivalry or something, right? Colts used to play the Patriots all the time because that was a rivalry game, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Why we play the Raiders so often, not really sure, but they once again show up on our schedule because we are playing the AFC West this year. But what we have for this one, very interesting game. And I think right off top, I feel like most people think the Colts are going to win. I think we opened up as like 6-point favorites. I think probably right around there still. So I feel like a lot of people expect us to win this game. That makes this game dangerous, right? But coming off of the Rams game, we we had every chance to win that game. We should have won that game, right? I'm recording this video a little while after Thursday Night Football ends, and the Rams somehow lose to the 49ers, who don't have their starting quarterback or their top two receivers. So even though Kyle Shanahan does seem to be Sean McVay's daddy, but nonetheless, like, why couldn't the Rams play like that against us? You know what I mean? But we still we should have won that game against the Rams. Defense, for the most part in that game, played well enough for us to be able to win. Offense, of course, we know what happened there. We don't have to go over it. But we made a lot of mistakes, penalties, different things that happened in that game where we just didn't score enough points and we end up losing. And coming off of that game with the mistakes that we made, you got to think there's going to be an extra level of focus coming into this game, an extra level of, I can't believe we did that to ourselves. We got to make up for that. So I don't know if it matters who we're playing this week. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know if it matters who we're playing this week. I think coming into this, we're going to see the best version of this team coming into this game. Now, with that said, due to the injury report, right, the most recent injury report that I have at my disposal right now, it's not going to be like the best, but for the most part, like, we should come into this again an extra level of focus, an extra level of being mad and ready to right the ship after what happened last week, right? Dropping a game that we shouldn't have dropped at the end of the day. And so coming into this again, some of the big injuries to talk about, we should be getting Alec Pierce back. Zaire Franklin's going to be fine. We should get Mac and Savez back. Tyler Goodson probably not going to be available, but for the most part, pretty healthy. It is concerning that Michael Pittman Jr. has a hamstring injury. Very interested to see what happens there. My assumption is he's not going to play. We of course at this point don't know the severity of it. We'll see what happens with the injury report that comes out today. Unfortunately, if you watched the injury report earlier, or if you didn't, just know I'm not going to be able to get you the Friday injury report due to my day job, but we'll talk about injuries tomorrow and give an update on that. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have notifications on so that you can stay updated on when those injury reports come out, and we're able to talk about that. But missing Michael Pittman Jr. would be a big deal. He has 3 touchdowns for us so far, leads us in receptions, and but getting Alec Pierce back is going to be great. So if we are not having Michael Pittman Jr., then it would probably, in my assumption, would be Alec Pierce and A.D. Mitchell. And people are, after what happened last week, going to not like to hear that, but that's just what my assumption would be. We'd probably see, because of what happened against the Rams, we'll probably see a healthy dose of Ashton Dulin as well. Might even see Anthony Gould be able to get on the field at time. Will we split Tyler Warren out wide more often? Will we put Josh Downs out wide more often? I know Josh Downs' first career touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, came when he was on the outside, and there was an offsides. They thought the play was going to be blown dead, whatever. Josh Downs ends up wide open for a touchdown. So, different scenarios that could happen. Tyler Warren gives us flexibility in that regard. So very interested to see how it works. Any other week, it would have been like, yeah, it's Alec Pierce and A.D. Mitchell. But because of what happened last week, not really sure how that's going to set up this week if we don't have Pitt. Now, on the other side, I would honestly kind of expect them to have Brock Bowers and Max Crosby, but Max Crosby showing up with a knee injury as a limited participant on Thursday, anything could happen there, right? I haven't seen anything really about the knee injury. Of course, Brock Bowers been dealing with the knee injury throughout the season so far, got it in week 1, been dealing with it. If they get Michael Mayer back, they might just say, okay, Brock, go ahead, rest up this week. We need you to get healthy. But nonetheless, like, this is a game. Raiders are in territory where they got to win games. So I don't know if they have the comfortability to be able to just let guys sit. But in the long run, they would probably think, especially for years past, like, hey, let's not take chances with this Brock Bowers knee thing. Let's get him healed up. So we'll see what happens there. My assumption is that they're both going to play, right? So I'll have a prediction for if they both play. I'll have a prediction if neither of them play, and we'll go about it like that. But overall, like, offensively, I expect the Colts to be able to come in and, for the most part, be able to do what they need to do. I think they're going to be able to get the run game going. Pete Carroll came out and said that Daniel Jones, right, was talking about Daniel Jones, and I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially saying Daniel Jones is the next one up in terms of quarterbacks that are righting the ship of their career. Daniel Jones is the next one up. He's doing really well with the pieces they have around him, and he specifically mentioned that the Colts are doing a really good job with their play action, and that they're heavy in the play action. So my thoughts is, if they're expecting play action, so they're gonna have, they're gonna be back on their heels a little bit. This might be the game where, instead of being pass heavy in the first half, run heavy in the second half, you come out and you're run heavy in the first half, run heavy in the second half, smash mouth football, get DJ Giddens involved in this game with 45 carries. They have Ashton Genty on the other side. Let's take him out of it by getting a lead, having the ball in our hands, continuing drives when Daniel Jones needs to make a play, and Josh Downs and Alec Pierce and Tyler Warren, and we need to move the ball through the air. Let's move the ball through the air. But let's go in here, smash mouth football. Colts fans will love the fact that you're giving Jonathan Taylor the ball 20 times in the first half, so do it. Right? And that might be a little excessive. Think about how many plays you get in the first half. Giving Jonathan Taylor 20 carries in the first half might be a bit much, but if he ends the first half with 15 carries, I'm just going to assume we're probably winning the game. I'm going to assume he's already probably at like 60, 70 yards. I think the front for the Raiders isn't terrible, right? They have Max Crosby on that side, but if they play Max Crosby and you need to slow him down, then, hey, what better way to be able to slow Max Crosby down than just run the ball? Right now, they do have former Colt Jonah Lalu, who has been playing well for the Raiders, right? I believe 7th round pick for the Colts. When we had him, I thought for sure he was at least going to make practice squad and be a part of the roster. That ended up not being the case, and here he is on the Raiders making plays. He's a starter for them. He's been making plays for them. So, their front isn't terrible, but it's not world-beating either. So, coming into this game, I feel like offensively we should be able to take advantage of them with what we have, with what we've been able to put on tape, the things that we've been able to do. We should be able to move the ball through the day. So feel pretty good about that. Again, you have to get Jonathan Taylor going. They have Max Crosby on the other side. You cannot let Max Crosby pin his ear back and start hunting. You just cannot let that happen. I would like to see a healthy dose of different snap counts, right? On 1, on 2, on 3. Got to make sure that they're not able to time up the snap count. You cannot have Max Crosby come in here and ruin this game for us, right? It's going to be Max Crosby. He's our left defensive end. They will move him throughout the line, but primarily it's going to be him against Braden Smith. Braden Smith has been doing really well this season, but I don't want Max Crosby one-on-one all game. We need to chip. We need to run the ball. We need to be able to take him out of the game and make sure he's not going to ruin this game for us. And then on the other side, our defense against their offense, Geno Smith has, the stat that I heard was he has 8 turnover-worthy plays, and in those 8 turnover-worthy plays, he has 7 interceptions. So when he's making bad decisions, they're the worst possible scenario in terms of the decisions that he's making, and they're turning into turnovers. So I think coming into this game, we have the opportunity to do that. Now, I also think this could be the first like Liatu Latu real breakout performance. He did a good job last week, even though people try to say he's not. The cut ups that I've seen all week of Latu, being able to get to the quarterback, being able to like Rob Havenstein is a good tackle in the NFL, and Liatu is still able to have a good day. So with Latu coming into this game, I feel good about his ability with their starting left tackle Colton Miller just getting put on IR. And from everything I've seen from Raiders fans on Twitter, this guy Stone Forsythe is the guy coming in for him, one of the worst tackles in the league. Right, I think I can't remember the exact ranking. I wish I would have saved it. It was like of 120 tackles or something. He was ranked like 114th or something like that whenever he had to play for him. So this is a great opportunity for Latu to be able to come in and dominate. Now, on the other side of that, I would assume they're going to chip him and they're going to put help on that side because he's really like our most valuable pass rusher on the edge right now. So they're probably going to give Forsythe some help. So from that aspect, let's see if Latu can get past that. But Ashton Jeanty has not been good. And really, I'm trying to be nice because I'm a Jeanty fan, to be honest with you. I am an Ashton Jeanty fan. I think he's an absolute dog. In pass protection, he has been god-awful. From some of the cut-ups I've seen, the effort in pass protection is so bad. So, and very easily beatable. So, I think we can get after Geno. The offensive line in Vegas is once again not great. Nothing really to scare you on that offensive line. Colton Miller is a good offensive tackle, and now he's on IR. So I think we can take advantage. Our defensive front should have a good day here, just like the Titans game, right? Going into that game, we expected the defensive front to be able to do their thing. And in this game, it's going to be the same. You got to get after the quarterback. We can force Geno into some mistakes. He has multiple 3-interception games. Let this be another one. Right? Cam Bynum hasn't had an interception since week 2. Let's get Cam Bynum an interception or 2 in this game. Right? Charvarius Ward. Why don't you go ahead and test Charvarius Ward? Get him an interception. Let's do that. Mekhi Blackman, probably going to be the starter in place of Xavier Howard, not Jonathan Edwards, which is kind of disappointing. I think he's a dog. But Mekhi Blackman, they traded for him. Sounds like, just from what I've seen, sounds like he's probably going to get the majority of the snaps on the outside. So, let's get some people some interceptions, right? Let's get Latu a strip sack. Let's get Latu a couple of sacks in this game. DeForest Buckner, let's get him a sack or 2 in this game, right? I think we can get active on the defensive side. And honestly, I expect a bit of domination here. And as I sit here and look at the Raiders depth chart, they have Jamal Adams at right cornerback. They also have him as a will linebacker, transitioning into that linebacker role in that defense. I know he's made some plays for him, but he's not even their starter. They actually have Jermaine Pratt. I didn't know they had Jermaine Pratt either, but he's over there. Devin White is over there, just sitting here taking a look at this in real time. Didn't know they had these guys. So not like the worst defense, but by all means, we should take care of their defense. Our defense should take care of their offense. Again, we're going to be coming into this game extra motivated after losing the first game of the year when we should for sure be 4-0. You know those guys think they should be 4-0. So there's going to be an extra level of motivation, an extra level of focus coming into this one. And, you know, if Brock Bowers and Max Crosby both play in this game, I think it might be a little closer, but I would still take the Colts to win this thing, like 30 to 13, maybe. If Brock Bowers and Max Crosby don't play, I think I'm going to take the Colts to win this thing like 38 to 10, 45 to 13, somewhere in that range. I don't think this is going to be close either way. Just for the record, I think the Colts blow the Raiders out. Shout out to the Raiders, but it's a bad week to play the Colts. After what just happened against the Rams, the way they beat themselves, they're not going to let that happen again. I have confidence with that. In years past, they might continue to crumble, but this team feels different. It does. And I have confidence they're going to right the ship. And I think we have the talent to be able to do that. I don't think we're going to make all the same mistakes we did last week. And I think we're going to come into this and just from start to finish, dominant performance and move our way into 4-1 territory and continue to rewrite the narrative on the Colts, which not really rewriting the narrative now. I think a lot of people now are on board with the fact that this is a good football team, but you gotta come in, you gotta beat bad teams. And right now the Raiders are a bad team. You got to get the job done, and I think we do in very convincing fashion. Should be a good day on Sunday. We are going to be live for the game, so please, should be a lot of fun. Come join us for the game. We had an incredible stream this past week. Got up to 500 people in the stream at one point. Of course, didn't end the way we wanted it to, but had an incredible stream. So I'd appreciate it. You guys come, stop by, even if you're watching the game at home. Come by, hang out in the stream, get in the chat. And let's have a good time on Sunday, man. Should be fun. Game's at 1 o'clock, and I hope to see you. We're going to have plenty more content. Again, I'm going to update the injuries as soon as I possibly can. We're going to have that video tomorrow. So let me know what you guys are thinking. What's your prediction for this game? I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. You put that down in the comment section for me, and I'll try to react to as much as I possibly can. And of course, if you enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on so you get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. And of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.